hours. Like we're on YouTube live for like 8 hours, and then go into the video, and it's like, oh, 1 hour. That's nice. Okay.
Every time I have to log in with my freaking double layer security, I always lament it, even though I'm never gonna remove it, and I'm still always gonna complain about it.
Alright, I think we are now live on both.
Well, hey there, folks.
Do we have audio on Twitch?
We are live now on Twitch.
Cool.
I can tell because in the background screen behind my login screen, it's currently being all like, hey, it's live.
Yes, we have audio.
Alright, cool. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Vigilantes Jumpchain, or Hero Jumpchain. We switched that name because it was fun, and because you guys technically aren't heroes. But that's besides the point. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys...
My character heroic is F.
Well, that's fair. Except you're past, you know, where you're no longer you're in the supporting crew. So you know.
I would say technically you're not a hero because you're not making sure that we're being heroes. So you're kind of just a bystander.
Oh, I meant Washi.
Oh.
Oof. But yeah, so if you guys have not seen the villains videos or the syndicate videos on our channel, Tables of Taurus, I'm gonna post our... Hi, demon. Hi, Zario. God, there's two different demons. Thank you. At YouTube. I don't know which ones we have. At Twitter. At Patreon.
Why do you keep saying at? That's not an at symbol.
You know, it's how I think of it. If you guys are on our Twitch, feel free to look at the chats there, which has all of our social media. If you guys, oh yeah, I forgot Discord. If you guys are on our Table Stars YouTube, check out the description below. That's where our social media is at. But if you guys have not seen the villains videos, do check them out. It does tie into the hero story as well, a lot more, because they are very much so connected to each other. So if you don't watch the other side, you may be missing on just a little bit of content there. As it happened last episode, Rogue's character, who currently...
before we get into the recap, I just got one important question.
Yes?
If you visualize that as the at symbol, how the flip do you log into your email every day?
Well, you know, with skills, okay, with thick hand movements, all right.
Bro, that ain't what I call skill.
Anyways, yeah, so last villains episode, the Rogue and Ron actually came over to Mugen in order to investigate some stuff. You guys want to know what? Go to that episode. But basically, Rogue and Ron changed up their outfits a little bit. So Ron, I believe you look very professional, if I remember correctly, like a businessman kind of look, and then Rogue looks like a punk rock teenager that has a little bit too much angst in his ass. Which works very well.
Not anywhere else in his body?
Well, you know, it has to really condense there, alright? To be the true teenage angst, you need to have it condensed right there, alright? Anyways, so you started talking to Tanya, and then last Heroes episode, most of you got pounded into the ground by Tanya, and Sophia got a good good kind of counseling with Tanya about how to control demons and stuff. Kind of. It was more her saying you need to calm down, her calming down. But it was a good counseling session, you know? Anyways, so you guys had a 10-minute break, more or less, inside of world. Outside of world is a week, but in world it was about 10 minutes or so break. Rogue walked in, started chatting to Tanya. He was left there as Ron went off to talk with someone. I think the president? Maybe? Principal? Whatever his name was. And then everyone started kind of filtering back in as well.
Sin, what would I need to roll to recognize Rogue's character, since he isn't changing his face and Dollhouse's things as faces?
Roll me sense.
Yeah, what about Akia too? Wouldn't you have seen him?
Yeah.
She was too groggy to recognize his face.
Yeah, too busy being traumatized.
Yeah. But even though Dollhouse was practically insane, that moment he does habitually recognize faces and implants them into his brain because of his quirk as well. So with a 14, you would kind of recognize him to a degree. You recognize that he looks, in facial features at least, almost identical to the guy who's inside that warehouse. However, his entire outfit, body posture, everything like that looks completely different. So you can't be completely sure if it is.
So I should just follow him quietly in his wheelchair.
Okay. But yeah, so Rogue, you popped out Tanya. Everybody's starting to kind of filter back, except for Akia, who I believe left the building last episode, if I remember correctly.
I walked off for a while.
Would
I
you
would've
come
been
back?
because it was only a 5-minute break. I would have come back, but I just didn't want to be around.
Ah, okay. So probably Iku will have found you, will have talked to you just a little bit, maybe try to calm your nerves or something of that sort before y'all walk back in. And you all see the new guy here. Except for Mr. Torque. He was already there, so he gets to see him.
Wait. Just gets up.
Roll me sense, actually. You would recognize his face, but roll me sense if you would put 2 and 2 together. Mostly because your character's an idiot. But I'm very curious on if you...
one.
Yeah, roll me sense. You 100% would... You would put 2 faster than you would put the fact that you like your babies. Or Akia. One of those two.
One of them.
But yeah. So you run up and like... face...
I know you! Oh, you're the only guy I liked in that other shitty group we were in.
And that's all the confirmation Dollhouse needed.
Ooh, just crushing that.
What are you talking about, other group?
You know, the other group, Mr. Depressing, the guy on the motorcycle, the girl that I didn't get to see anymore, Mosquito Lady. Oh man, she was sexy.
Oh, those jokers.
Yeah, those jokers. Did you leave them too?
Yeah, that was a one-time deal. It wasn't really my gig, so...
Aha, he puts his arm around your shoulder. Sir, you're gonna have a fun time here, let me tell you. They're either gonna throw you in jail or force you to join them.
Hey, Mr. Torque.
Yes?
How about you, me, and him go outside and they continue their lesson, and we have a talk? As Dollhouse puts his one hand up. Come on, let's go outside and have a conversation.
That sounds lovely. Tell you what, this guy's a genius. He invented a new baby. He's practically... He looks at you, Dollhouse. Are you the mother of my new child?
Dollhouse looks at you blankly. If I'm being called anything, it's Daddy.
Oh god.
Oh
You know what?
no!
You know what? I can swing that. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
So this is my husband.
Dollhouse is sitting there trying not to crack up. Like he's trying to... Anyway, let's take him outside so that they can continue the thing. I'll be taking Mr. Torque with me for a few minutes, Tanya. If I come back covered in blood, you know why.
Sure, you're the teacher here.
By
A
the way,
few
I ran them
minions.
Roughly take a few of them. Take about 4 this time around. See if you can't get them to work in a team like that. Bye. Good luck, everybody.
Have
Run
fun.
them down, huh?
Octopus Lady, you're hot.
Looks at Octopus Lady on top there with her sister holding her in wheelchair. Best time to say. Am I missing someone? I don't think I'm missing any of the heroes. Am I missing
Sorry,
anyone?
Rogue. I accidentally
One.
rented you out.
2, 3,
Gee, thanks.
I'm sorry.
4.
Guys,
Cool.
isn't that potent when you have a character whose main thing is changing his face constantly?
True, but
Tiny's gonna
Oh,
scratch
my.
the back of her head and say, "So this is probably gonna sound rude, Octopus Lady, what's your name? I don't want to call you that.
Akari
The
Umi.
fact
Kari?
that I was able to get Kane to say Octopus Lady is
Octopus
made my
Lady.
day.
I don't want to
Actually,
call you that.
Tanya, yeah, Tanya is the one who said those exact words. She's like, okay, Akari, this will probably come out as rude, but should I put in an advance order for a wheelchair? Because I'm now beginning to notice that the teachers here seem to be in need of them as of late. Legit concern, because like, far as I can tell, Dollhouse, neither you nor Dollhouse are incompetent. So I don't know how the waiting lines look.
I would put one in just in case. You know, we've had a lot of troubles as of late.
Yeah, I don't have the best luck in the world. I'll go ahead and
Yeah,
just
you landed here.
see about that. Did you just burn your own principal?
He's a fun guy.
Nobody's safe.
I'll take your word for it. Now, Dollhouse said that I'm running the rest of you down.
God.
Concern?
Who here is familiar with the basic principles of muscular training?
How many laps?
No, see, it's more complicated than that, you see. Muscular training is based on the principle of, to simplify things, you're tearing your muscles, and when they heal, they grow back stronger.
I can ask.
So,
How many laps?
that depends. How long can I heal you?
Shit.
You see Risa's like face kind of pale at that slightly.
Oh, and don't worry. If it's even if you go for a dead sprint, I'll make sure that the airflow continues properly. If your breathing starts getting a little imbalanced, it'll be rather uncomfortable. But you'll be breathing right a second later. Hope you all brought running shoes.
All right. Well, I'm assuming that's. Oh, hello. Yay, we got a new follower. Hello. MB17PT. Hello.
MB!
Oh, yeah, MB.
Yeah. Hello. Glad to see you join us.
IMB, help.
There's no help for you now. You cannot be
That's
saved.
my
Cannot be
husband.
saved from these
God.
Yeah.
demons.
All right. Well, so I'm
Ti-
assuming the rest of the day is gonna be spent on breaking them.
Not exactly. Only the remainder of the duration of this class period. Everyone will be expected to do dead sprints at the same speed. If you run faster than anyone else, you will have magical weights placed upon you. You will only run as the slowest person can do at max speed, but be weighed down enough that it's still going to suck just as bad as if you were doing your own dead sprints. Her magic will prevent any significant damage to joints and the like, restoring your damaged musculature as you go in the most rigorous 45 minutes of your life.
Should
I
I
can
tell
just-
you now I'm the fastest one here so you can pre-plan your placement of weights?
You,
Things are going to be heavy.
To quickly break
Mhm.
things, MB.
we're
Currently,
tied.
we are playing a thing called Jumpchain. It's using similar systems to D&D, though a lot of them are handmade by the DM here.
Hello.
We're
Same
doing
with,
a custom, we're doing a custom system that basically boils down to just a whole bunch of D20s, where we're throwing our custom characters into a wide variety of pre-existing fictional worlds. We're doing My Hero Academia, we've done Ruby, we've done Pokemon, all sorts of things, and the chaos that ensues is the result of whatever in the heck our characters get up to.
Yeah, very roleplay focused, as well as containing a lot of just very fun aspects, and then also very horrifying and demented aspects as well. And also, Discord they see in that chat there is the Discord chat that we use in order to kind of play most of our stuff or just have a very fun time with other people. So feel free to check that out if you want on our YouTube as well. Check that out in the description below. But yeah, So at the moment, we have it's basically just school time, more or less. You actually joined in the really fun NPC kind of portions of it and whatnot. But as it is currently, for the next 45 minutes, you guys are going to be hurting, to put it very nicely.
I can say that at the very least, it don't feel like 45 minutes.
So 2 hours feeling later. All right. So you guys kind of stepped outside, more or less.
Salad
It's the-
PTSD.
Oh god, yeah. So this is the more or less the outside here. We're going to use this rooftop section, just to kind of show things as you guys eventually kind of walk outside, and you guys are able to, stand next to each other, more or less.
Hello. Salad PTSD, as it should.
Yep, no problem.
Have a good one, MB.
Later, friend.
Peace. Feel free to come back anytime. We stream quite a bit. Just check out our Twitch streaming schedule if you want to see what we do when we do it.
Yep.
So,
All
what-
right.
Yep.
I think we're far enough away just in case things get heated that the students will be safe. What are you doing in my school?
To be honest, I just want to change the pace. To be honest,
Yeah, and I don't buy that. What's your actual plan? I'm not stupid.
you're as Rouge is looking at Dollhouse. He realizes where he recognizes him from, and he realizes it's the guy that he had a bad feeling about.
Super
what-
crazy
what-
one you can't get out of your nightmares.
Wait, would my quirk be active?
Your
Or-
chaotic lightning, roll me a sense,
Oh, my
kind of
chaotic
like,
lightning.
oh, your other one? Oh, right, your other one. You have to manually turn that one on, but your other quirk does work at any point in time, so you can't see, how he's moving, essentially. But your other quirk you have to turn on.
Okay. I was...
Yeah.
Because I believe one of my quirks was basically auto avoidance, basically.
Mhm.
So
Pretty much second brain, yeah.
So what are you doing in my school? I want the truth, not a lie.
The truth. Well, I'm currently undecided on whose side to support. And that's the honest truth.
Well, Mr. Torg,
Huh?
you're an honest gentleman with kind children. What was this guy like when you knew him before?
This guy? He put these arms around him. He was my favorite person out of everyone. He stuck by me. He trusted me. I trusted him. He hasn't really lied or said anything to make you think otherwise. Aren't I? Isn't that right, mister?
Rouge. Yes. I'm usually trustworthy, and I am.
Yeah, coming from
I'm
a throne,
honest.
that means as much as me saying, as a hero, I won't kill anybody.
Yes, I do admit, I do appear to be a villain, and I have not done good things in the past, but right now, I don't know who to support, since
All right, how about
I
I ask
see
you a
bad
question that I'll
motives.
actually get an answer for? Where's Onyx?
Onyx. I actually have no idea what
Has a scar on his
I have,
lip.
I have never seen him, to be honest.
You hear
I have no
the
idea.
whipping sounds of strings behind Dollhouse. Bub, I'm not an idiot. He's a moron who chases things to the end. I know enough about him. Now,
And I have no idea what you're talking about because I don't know Onyx. I'm being honestly truthful.
do you know a
Wait.
guy with a scar on his face?
That you do know.
I do not know.
Mhm.
I mean, I've known a couple people with scars on their face, but
Lower lip.
would I have?
Yeah, so the person you've
Yeah.
been,
Axel.
so Axel on his cheek, You actually saw Ron get this guard too. It's the finger slice from his cheek all the way to his lip. You can choose to lie about it if you wish, but you do know a man fitting that description, which would be Axel.
Honestly, I've seen that guy once or twice, but I have not talked to him much, and I don't know what his intentions are, and I have not chosen to work with him. If that's what you're asking.
Hasten, what do I need to check to see if he's lying?
So you can roll sense to see whether or not he's telling the truth about those.
I'm gonna roll my own just to see.
More than welcome to. Kind of sensing what's he's talking about exactly.
Right, the sense is going to be double rolled because it's taking a minute to register.
Yeah, you're good. I'll take
Yeah,
the first
mine's
one.
taking a minute to register as well.
Roll
Roll 20,
20.
you can-
Stop being a jerk. Roll 20. Hello.
Roll 20, you want to work for us? Baby girl, do you want to help us be the cream?
Roll 20. Do you hate us, sir?
Did it just break for everyone?
I think it did.
It's crazy.
Did you see me move you?
Yeah, I can see you move then, just the rolls aren't
Okay.
registering.
It
Yeah, let me try
it should be
20.
working. Okay, I rolled.
Oh, there we go. There's-
Oh, that's Sin.
Yeah, I rolled.
and I rolled.
Here, I'm going to try to roll again and see
Oh.
what happens.
I can roll. So,
This rogue's roll. Oh, there you go.
oh,
Okay.
there's. Oh, okay.
So, Rogue, your specific wording was that you have not worked with Ron before. But did you specify that you did not work with a person who had that scar?
I did say I've worked with him once or twice, but
Mhm.
I have not personally chosen to solely work with him.
He is telling the truth.
All right. Good, you can lie to me.
Of course, I
Question
won't lie.
number 3.
Yes.
Where is he now?
At this moment in time,
Principal's office.
principal's office. I don't know why, but he was willing to pretend to be my father. And
You see
I'll
the come across Dollhouse's face for a second. And the principal believed this.
from what I could tell, he bought it.
You see his arm reach up to his face in a visible face palm. He's not exactly a smart man. He's a kind one. I give him that. All right. Don't take this the wrong way.
Mhm.
We have our
Yes.
hands full enough with Mr. Torque.
Hmm.
I recommend
I-
you leave immediately. Or rather, grab what info you want. I don't care.
Oh, can you stay with me? Can you stay with me? Yes, come on. You
Hey,
got
Mr.
no.
Torque,
Yes.
why not you and I go make that new baby here soon, and I'll think about it.
Yay, phrasing.
Oh god.
That sounds a great idea.
You're-
The
Look,
birthing
it's
process-
Mr. Torque. I have to phrase it badly because that's the only way to phrase it
Me and you are gonna
that he'll understand. Because he's dumb.
me and you are gonna be parents today.
You could see this, like, the discomfort and disgust on Dollhouse's face, but you just whatever.
He grabs onto your hand and starts skipping somewhere.
Dollhouse. As you see Dollhouse's hand just disconnect. Interesting. Alright,
Yeah.
so let me ask you one more thing.
of course.
And
Well, rather, let me threaten you with one more thing. You send any information that endangers the students themselves, not the teachers. The teachers can handle themselves.
Mhm.
But any information regarding students is off limits. You keep that to yourself, or you dump it into a dumpster fire that isn't your people.
Of
I can
course.
deal with your people. but I'm not losing another student. And if one of my students' information comes from your lips and I learn it, you'll be wishing that your deity would send you home.
Sin DMs.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mr. Stranger, he does
You're-
have a hand in it.
You weren't very friendly to new people, aren't you?
I'm friendly to people that I haven't met in a villain's hideout who didn't have
You-
my students.
You do have a point, but I didn't have your students. I didn't have them at gunpoint or knife point, or whatever you want to say it.
No, you didn't, and I don't have to blame you for that. However, because of your organization, the organization that you are a mercenary for, or were, depending, one of my students is dead. One of them is missing, and from what I can tell, on your side, one of my
And-
students is traumatized by one of your people. And another one
honest-
is just trying to help her friend.
Hmm.
I have very little patience, my young friend. And I've already killed one man in this world. And I've done a lot worse in others. So I recommend you be very careful sitting around here. I have no morals, unlike the rest of these humans. I recommend you be careful. I want one thing from you. Get me the information, active tracking on the man with the lower lip scar. And you can do whatever the heck you want about the teachers. But the students, again, stay off limits if you want to live.
Trust me, my intentions isn't to infect the students. I am honestly trying to figure out what happened with your students as well, because that was news to me.
You're also specifically looking for the apostle at the moment too, which he seems to know a lot about his students. And if the apostle was a mission that was went on, that might be something to ask.
I actually, I'm wondering if you can help me find some information on someone who's gone, well, missing, per se. He went by the name of the Apostle. Would you
Alright.
recognize anyone by that name? He hasn't been seen in a long time by the person who's contracted me.
The thing I knew about the opossum was that one of our other teachers went on a mission to find him. She found him, but he left soon after. He didn't want anything to do with the wars between heroes and villains. He just wanted to help people. As far as I'm aware, he's MIA. And hasn't been seen since that teacher found him.
Oh.
Yes?
I think I met him.
Really? Oh,
you?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh yeah, you did.
A long time ago. It was when I was robbing a bank. Or trying to
Shocker.
blow it up, actually.
when are you not trying to blow something up?
It's art! Why do you people not understand?
Mr.
No.
Sticky.
Well, that's a new piece of art that you and me are going to be making money. But no, I saw the apostle. Yeah, I think that's his name. He stripped me naked. That other guy.
Well,
Go on.
Please
No.
do.
So, apparently, when I was running away from the bank, he followed me instead of the people who took the money. Am I right? What kind of idiot does that? Anyway,
Think his door got knocked on?
Yes.
Anyway, knock, knock, knock.
I will say this. I'll be honest about how I ended up doing this, or why this guy contracted me to do this. He has a favor he owes to the apostle, and apparently he doesn't like to owe people. So,
Well, if there's any consolation, he isn't here. And if he was, he's long gone now.
well, this is my only lead, to be honest, because it seems like he was very, very keen on keeping his tracks clean.
The only thing I know about the Apostle proper is that he was once called Boy, and that's it.
Well, I, at least I can look that up and see what hits I get on that. I mean,
Mhm.
I do apologize if being here is paying attention on you. That's
Let
not my
me be
intention.
You spread information about my students, I will learn. I won't tell you how I learn or why I will learn. But if information about my students ends up getting them hurt or killed, as you see Dollhouse's face transform and crack apart, you'll be the one who suffers worse. As it goes back
Don't-
to being a random face, my face changes constantly. Do keep that in mind whenever you're giving out information. I can be anywhere and everywhere.
I will. Don't worry. I don't want any kids harmed. To be honest, that's not my business.
Good. We're on the same page then. If you need information, though, I'm willing to play the game.
Okay, sounds good. And if it's any consultation, I did go up against that one serial killer god, Jack the Ripper.
Stitcher.
So,
Yeah.
Stitcher or whoever it was called.
Mhm.
So
He's not
I
the
am.
reason I'm in this wheelchair, by the by. I am. He barely did anything to me.
True.
This was everything that you see right now was that red strings doing that I did. Do keep that in mind that I'm a lot scarier when I'm not like this. When I'm healed up, by the way. Well, when I'm standing, I should say. I want the active location of the one with the scar on his lip.
Okay, I will.
If you need something, come by and hit me up. I'll typically be here if I'm not gone. If I'm gone, just wait a day or two. I'll come back.
Okay, sounds good. I'm glad we could.
Make a
Sorry
deal.
for my immediate hostility.
I completely understand. I mean, that night a lot happened in that warehouse, and honestly things got out of hand, and I didn't realize what was going on, or I couldn't process it. And I did see you in that warehouse, so I do know what would happen to me if I or
You
if
know, what is your quirk, by the way? If you're going to act like a student, I at least need to know that much.
quirk. Let me
Well,
bring up my.
You know the one that Onyx was talking with, and you two seem to be well acquainted. At least in the warehouse, you two did. Regardless of murkerness, what is your quirk? Just so I can be a teacher to help continue this chess game, I guess.
Quirk.
You're welcome to use any of your 3 in this answer. Either your chaotic lightning is your most noticeable one, so you can probably go to that one first if you want to.
I seem to have multiple quirks. One of them, which has followed me for a long time, is one that I'd like to get control of. Chaotic lightning. At random times, it goes off. And speaking of that, can I roll for that? See if that's going
Yeah,
off.
roll sense. Just like in the elevator.
Okay.
Let's see what your. Oof. That's yeah, it is. It's going through your hair at the moment. It makes you look more like a rock star than you did before, and it would also probably cause at least some burning damage to anyone who decided to ruffle your hair.
Yeah.
You see Dollhouse, can I look you over for a minute? I can see that. Hey, Sin.
Mhm.
In theory, could I use a string to ground it to redirect the flow into, say, the stone in the school building?
Potentially. I don't actually know how the electricity grounding thing works, but it is very chaotic, so you can try. I'm not entirely sure if
I
it'll
mean, to be
flow
fair,
properly.
regardless, electricity typically has one common thing, especially thunder, and
Mhm.
is that, or not thunder, lightning, is that it always takes the fastest route to the ground.
Mhm.
So even say if you put if you're wearing rubber shoes, or I
Mhm.
guess in this case for Dollhouse, rubber wheels, if you have something that's connected to it,
Mhm.
but you ground it, it will always go to the quickest grounding point, rather than the instance of which would be very, very hard since rubber's an insulator.
You can try if you wish to. Roll dexterity.
Fair enough.
Do-do-do-do. Roll 20. Hello.
Okay, roll 20. See how it is.
Not wanting to do it again.
Nope.
Let me go to your character. Oh, I want dexterity, I believe. Rolls for me. What the fuck? All right.
Alright, it's not rolling for me, apparently.
Might want to refresh your page, maybe. Maybe they'll do
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna do it again for like the second time.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
these servers is not really the most stable.
Mhm.
So
So you send your wire kind of above his head, more or less, kind of like into his hair to see if you can redirect the flow. The lightning does start bouncing on your strings as you ground it to the ground. Make sure it flows through you and not shock you to death. But as it does flow along your strings, you do notice that it is, as the name suggests, extremely chaotic, and that it's not necessarily going the fastest route to the ground. It's going to the ground, but it's pretty much expanding as like everywhere it possibly can as it's heading downwards, more or less. It does not seem to enjoy being forced into a direction.
Alright. Just keep that under control. There are plenty of people here who can probably keep it grounded.
Oh, Mr. Torque, roll me endurance. How close are you to him, by the way, Mr. Torque? If he's there. Hello.
Zero! Mr.
here's-
Zero, we need you.
here's saying that he's been having internet issues. So
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to assume that as you put your string above his head. Okay.
oh,
Nah,
there he
there
is.
he is. Mr. Zero, can you talk?
Sorry about that.
You're good. How close are you to Rogue as his chaotic lightning starts to flare?
I like rejoin back to the group, so I guess close enough. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Roll me endurance. I'm assuming you like put your arm around him as Dollhouse's string goes above his
because
head and
he's
stuff.
friendly. He's my friend.
So roll me endurance real quick.
I don't know if it will work though because I can't roll anything.
Can you not?
Nope. Clicking it, not working.
Man, the internet's being a bitch today. Okay, well I'll
Let me
click your
let me try and exit out.
yeah, I'll click your endurance for you in the meantime. Then, boop. You got a 9. So not the best rolls. So as you put your arm around him, the chaotic lightning, by not wanting to be specifically travel in a specific direction along strings, does snap out to the side and literally slap you upside the head, more or less. Although it doesn't seem to burn you for some reason. It does hurt to a decent degree, but I assume you enjoy that. I'm gonna go with Dollhouse. If you can, roll dexterity. I'll roll it for you.
Oh, that looked painful.
Specifically, this is you seeing. Okay, so you can see this. This is more dexterity of the eyes than anything else. The chaotic lightning didn't hit him. It hit through him, more or less. It didn't come out the other side, but it seemed to dissipate and kind of spread along him, unlike normal lightning would for a normal person. There's no burn marks, there's no scorch marks, there's no nothing. It went more, you would say, into him, more or less, as the chaotic lightning snapped and struck him. You notice this for just a brief second as he stumbles backwards slightly.
Alright.
What a jolt. I forgot you were great with lightning.
yeah, are you okay there? At least this time I didn't take out a whole elevator, which is the reason why I'm here.
Took down an elevator? Ow, my
That
friend.
and may not have melted someone's arm. It was a
My
prosthetic, so
Mhm. You
yes,
man, can I please adopt him?
God. You did not have a very good experience with elevators in the Ruby world. You hit that
Yeah.
ground hard.
yeah.
I like this man. You know what? You've always been my favorite. I insist you stay with me.
I don't mind that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I was wanting to come here is, just continue. It's been a while.
How thoughtful. See, he's the only villain or whatever they call themselves that actually cared.
He's
More
such a
like
nice
you're
person.
Such a nice person.
Well, when you look at the other villains,
Mhm.
you're the most friendly one. Other two, I haven't been able to get, and
Mhm.
I just have a lot of angst or edgy. Or I don't know what the deal is, but
No one does. Okay.
yeah.
So I assume at this point, let's see, Dollhouse. I think you were planning on heading somewhere with Mr. Torque, I believe. Dollhouse.
Yeah, he mentioned to Torque to help him make the sticky grenade,
Oh.
where it's just a bunch of silly string.
What was it called? We named him Mr.
Mr.
Sticky.
Sticky.
Oh,
Just
that's
string. Yeah, right. That.
all right. Rogue, will you be walking with them, or are you gonna be heading back into the class to put up the front that you've been putting up previously?
I think I'll just head back to the class. I mean,
Alright.
I am a new student here, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
sure.
right to cut class the first day.
That is a bad plan. Alright, so you head back to the gym, and as you head back in, the first thing you notice is um, the look of pure anguish on some of their faces. As I assume at this point, I would say about like 20 minutes or so passed or so. So they're still running around. She may be healing them, but who? Running at full dead sprint as long as you can, as hard as you can for 20 minutes straight is a horrible, horrible experience.
I
No
got
matter
one
how you're
for
being
how
healed.
like how fast are all of us running?
So whoever is the slowest, which would probably be Risa or Sophia, depending on how often Sophia likes to run.
Sophia's as fast as Akia is.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
That
jumper
one.
powers.
Oh yeah. So
Y'all are
probably
fast.
Risa, who does not enjoy running or jogging in most cases. So she's actually
gas mask guy might not have the strongest respiratory system. I don't know how his quirk impacts his general breathing habits or whether or not.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
that would
mask
kind of
covers
suck.
a lot of his
he
face.
he probably would like probably like walk up to Tanya before everything happened and attempt to explain through rather muffled voices that his he only has so many gas containers on him, and if he starts breathing as hard as he would for sprinting, he's gonna fill up those containers real quick.
She's going to think it over for a moment before she's going to nod and say, "Don't worry, I have a solution. I'm going to implement the solution with this hammer of mine. It's magic. Now,
Oh no.
just
The
start
only
running."
thing I can think of with that is just in his mind, it's just you beating his face
No.
with a hammer.
It's magic. So when you start running, feel free to breathe as deep or as much as you need to get the correct amount of air. Don't worry about any of the gas coming out. During the duration of this run, you don't need to worry about that.
Don't I name my mask?
Hmm?
So can I turn on my mask?
You could. Temporarily, of course. You'll want to don it before we wrap everything up.
Huh. Alright. He hesitantly starts to take off his mask for like the first time. He just who's that?
It's
Oh, I
roasted.
roasted. So he slowly starts to take off his mask with a very confused and what looks to be nervous look before he finally takes it off. He's like, huh.
Her hammer glows slightly, and basically, the gas is being vented out to another location,
Ah.
specifically a quote unquote secure location inside of her
Morehouse.
warehouse.
He looks back at Risa and he's like, you can understand me properly. Well, you can normally understand me properly, but everybody else can understand me properly. Whoa! Oh my god, I can. People can understand me. Okay.
If they couldn't understand you before, they need to learn to speak muffled.
He kind of like just kind of starts like shrinking back a little bit, starts like walking back to Risa. He just puts his mask in his bag and he's just like, looking real awkward
right.
at the moment.
Who's ready to start running?
God. So, yeah. 20 minutes later, and for Akio, extremely painful time, because, that's a lot of weights to keep up to the same speed as Risa. he's
Goodness gracious.
pretty fine, but...
Normal human,
Yeah.
level 6 speed.
Yeah, normal human that's a little bit above average weight,
Just a little bit.
running at full sprint, attempting to breathe properly and probably not full sprint in your life. So yeah, that's a lot of weights for the two of you to be holding. Everyone has like God knows how many weights. And Rogue, you just walk in and you see them all sprinting at just looking like they have been beaten by God himself as the clock slowly just ticks and talks and ticks and talks as Tanya sees him. So, Tanya, you see Rogue walking?
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry about that. That teacher wanted to talk to me for some reason. Nothing too bad.
No
So-
problem, no problem.
Yeah. So, what's their deal?
Well, we'll say that they partook in additional PE.
This looks like torture, honestly.
Hmm.
That is a. What did they do? I mean, that sounds like a torture to me.
How many miles can you run in a row without
How many?
stopping?
How many miles?
Quite a lot.
I honestly, last time I did, I lost track at mile 4, maybe 5.
And what's your top speed?
Yeah,
Top speed.
5 ranks in speed, so, way above human.
Oh, I think when I ran past one of those speed check towers telling you speed slowed down, it was flashing at 35. I think I was running in a school zone, so yeah, glad I didn't get pulled over.
Yeah.
Or
All
whatever.
right. Well, they're taking a 5-minute rest, but seeing as you're all rested up already, you're gonna go for a little bit of a run.
Oh, not
I
even an
know.
hour in this. Not even an hour in this school, and I'm running laps.
Yeah.
I didn't even take this class.
Yeah. She hefts her hammer as weight gradually builds up, as though you're beginning to weigh more and more and more.
Oh, how is this? Why am I getting torture as well? I'm new here.
You're right. You're new here, which is why you're going to be taking it a little bit easier. You said 4 miles? Start with 4 laps. If you're still up and at 'em, I'll know your general abilities then. As for the rest of you, The hammer begins to glow as their bodies pick up in speed in terms of regeneration. They feel better. I don't have enough of this jug to go around the whole class, so you'll need to take at least, I don't know, you all sit in chairs for the most of the day. You'll probably be fine by day's end.
God. Thankfully, it's a half.
If you need help going up and down stairs, remember, friends support each other.
This is torture. I
Torture.
Why?
I'll give you any information. Just
Yeah.
stop. Please.
Now, I'll be following along to keep an eye on your progress, newbie. And remember, the more you break your body today, the less it breaks tomorrow.
I feel like that one teacher did me a disadvantage.
Yeah, just a little bit. Alright. So the day goes on, as I said before, it stops at about half day or so, because there's the funeral for the other half of the day. So, you guys do your running, or improvised torture, I suppose, eventually, managing to fall down and stay down, because she lets you. And then you guys have the funeral. It's as depressing as you would imagine a funeral would be. But besides that, it's pretty much just a normal funeral. You guys get to
Doesn't sound depressing.
a horrible funeral. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a nice funeral. But yeah, so he gets full hero honors essentially. I don't know exactly what that would entail, so I'll let you guys kind of think of what that might entail to you when they full. It kind of like I would suppose like a soldier dying in battle, something like that. Full hero honors and stuff like that. Ooh. You're more than welcome to roll me endurance, Akia, because it's something you said. I do want to see how hard you'll push yourself, and depending on your roll.
11.
So, Yuki's, Tanya, you can see this, throughout the day that's going by, is that, Akia is attempting to push herself even harder than you are pushing her already, which, I don't know if that's a concerning thing to you, but, it is, something that's going on. She is pushing herself to, a significant margin. Not particularly well, it's hurting her significantly, but she is at least staying on her feet. It's very obvious that she's pushing it, though. Do you let her or do you say something?
Concern.
Corn?
Tanya will just kind of keep an eye on her. If she's pushing herself, then as long as she doesn't break down, then it's fine.
Mhm.
And even if she does break something, she's currently like Aki as a healer. Not only that, Tanya's a healer. They both are familiar with the idea of freaking fixing broken things.
Yeah, that's fair. So you push yourself to an extreme. It's rather obvious, especially since Sophia is normally able to keep up with you, and you're still pushing yourself harder than she is. So even she is starting to notice it just a little bit, as you guys pushing yourself. But then the funeral comes by. Probably, I would imagine, for some of you, it's more painful than most of the NPCs here. It's a rather simple event. They show the casket. They show it getting buried. People say anything that they need to. Otherwise, it's just mostly a quiet event, giving their wishes for him, I suppose, before the day's over. And the principal says, you're all welcome to stay here and continue training if you wish to. The cafeteria? Yes, it's called cafeteria. Food room? Cafeteria, food room. I don't know what it's called.
I feel like a cafeteria is a food room.
Yeah, I know, but there's like multiple names for it sometimes. There's the cafeteria, and then there's the food play. We're
The
gonna call it
mess
cafeteria.
hall?
Yeah,
Mess hall.
mess hall. Thank you. The mess hall is open for any of you that need it before you go home. Otherwise, you're welcome to go home, rest up, and be sure to be here in a couple of days. We're going to have a day off tomorrow just to make sure we got all of our files in place. As always, the gates are open for you to come by if you wish, and to make plans and to set up studies and things like that. We are going to be having a special guest join us here in a few days, though, so when you come to school in 2 days, be on your best behavior. It would be very interesting for you to meet him, and be a very good way for you to make some connections, as well as some students from UA will be joining us as well. He smiles as the room starts to dissipate. Sophia, Akia, are you two going to go home, or Sophia, do you want to talk to Akia before you do?
Probably should check up on her.
Mhm.
She stormed off and then came back.
Alright, let me move y'all into...
Waddled up.
Let's go with here.
I probably would have tried to walk up to Tanya to ask what time she wants me at the hospital tonight.
Whatever time has you fully rested.
2 hours would be... Yeah, I'll see you in 2 hours.
Jesus.
Are you getting an adequate amount of sleep?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Wait, is she lying?
Wait, what do you mean an adequate amount of sleep? Like, you think she's gonna take a nap after school?
Like she doesn't. Given the things that have been happening surrounding Akia lately, including the fact that you were recently in the hospital, she just wants to make sure that you're sleeping right before you go ahead and involve yourself in the medical practice.
Yeah, I mean, I passed out for a long time.
Yeah, just you don't want to deal with sleep deprivation,
No.
especially when you're a healer.
Alright, and with that, I
She
believe...
has nightmares, but she's like sleeping at least.
Alrighty, then that should be fine.
Don't worry about me
Good
placing
night.
people down, it's fine. Alright, with that, Tanya, I believe, leaves as you head back over to Sophia.
Sophia just looks at Akia as they're sitting down at the table
Mhm.
and says, "You okay?"
Sorry, I was taking a drink. I'm fine. Yeah.
Really?
How are you?
Me? I'm fine. I haven't, had anyone die in front of me or anything.
Nobody's
Technically.
technically died in front of me either.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess our teachers got beat up pretty bad.
Yes, we did say. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Potter. I'm sorry, Potter.
Oh, poor dollhouse.
Poor cat. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Do you need help? Like, how are you feeling after seeing what happened to Counselor?
Counselor?
You were the one who took her away from the scene.
Oh, Co? I don't know. I don't exactly feel anything, you know?
Were you not terrified by what Jack had done to her?
No, I was pretty scared. I'm still scared. But,
At least Jack's dead now.
true. There's that.
I didn't know you would be here.
Seems like some more stuff that was happening with the villains, though.
Yeah. Well, I will be working on my healing factors, so if either of us ever get hurt, I'll be able to heal us better and faster.
Yeah. And I'll start working on my teamwork with the beast. Hopefully everything goes well.
Of course it will.
Yeah. Nothing could possibly happen with the beast, right? I'm pretty sure it's
Nothing
fine.
will go wrong as long as you have somebody there to help you. I do not
Yeah.
want you to do it alone.
Yeah.
Ask
Excellent.
Dollhouse to help you.
I think I already. I mean, well, I guess not in game,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll have to talk to teacher later.
Let's start walking home, yeah?
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
My house or your house today?
Hmm.
You got homework, I assume, since we're gonna be out of school for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 children running around back of the place doing what knows.
I still don't believe you.
Seriously? Alright, let's just go to my house. I'll show you the little gremlins.
Gremlins.
What?
Alright. So you two start heading back to her house so she can show you the 2 demon children. Who are apparently
that
very
boy,
nice.
though, he's a little messed up in the head. You gotta kind of admit it.
Do not play him a game. Alright. Mr. Torg, you're probably back here at this point with Rogue, as it was the funeral stuff. You probably didn't pay too much attention to it, but there is a slew of other people around you, including Rogue at the moment, if you wish to interact with any of them before the day's end.
So, Mr. Rogue, what brought you here anyway?
After the PE torture, I don't know how they call it, extra PE. I've lost the reason why I'm here. To be honest, I think I just needed a break from everything. And after spending a month in UA, I decided to come here to see what makes this place different than the other school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of convenient that someone asked me to look into that one guy, and this is the only place that came up with as a possible lead.
Mhm.
So officially, I'm here for a little bit, and hopefully, maybe try to get control of that chaotic lightning, because yeah, can I roll sense to see if it's acting up again?
Oh yeah, no problem. You're in the middle
Sorry,
of the area.
I'm just gonna do that randomly because
Yeah, you're
that's
more welcome
how
to.
it's acting. So
It is chaotic, so unless
getting more
you
active.
fully purge it, it randomly acts up. It's on good behavior right now. Yeah, it's
I
it's
mean,
inside instead of outside.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So, what brings you here to, Mullion?
Well, it was either I got caught last time we were together in the villain's hideout. They offered me either jail or a place here.
So that's why you haven't been around in such a long time. Well,
Yeah.
at least you're in a good
Yeah,
place.
but honestly, what does that go back to?
True. I mean, that's why I told Dollhouse, the guy with the that guy kind of takes my autopilot to another level. Tells me to stay away from him, but anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually forgot what I was gonna say.
It happens all the time.
That run just that was
Fucking
torture.
killed you.
I'm just mentally tired right now.
Hey, buds, how you doing?
Doing
Uh.
well. It could have been worse with that extended run with something weighing me down. I don't know what was, but
It was a pretty good, enjoyable run, wouldn't you say? My tail got all kinds of tired. You notice that there's now a guy standing next to you who's kind of leaning on your shoulder, eating yet another ramen cup.
you
Hi there.
seem enthusiastic. What's your name?
I don't remember his name. Hold on a moment. It is Namida. 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 That was it. My name is Namida.
Namada. Okay.
So just randomly eating next to you as he's standing there. So, heard you say
I-
something about villain hideout, huh?
You said he's leaning on me.
Oh yeah,
leaning on my
his
shoulder?
arms on your shoulder. Yeah.
I went just touching me, to be honest.
I
feeling
touch a lot of
protection.
things. Mostly food.
Oh
Um,
goodness.
Can I have the roll again? Just to,
Oh yeah, feel free.
You wash your hands?
So do I.
Tiny zap does him in the arm, and he doesn't seem to notice. As he's just standing there.
You. Well, if you get shocked, it's your funeral. I'm not going to tell you what to do and not to do.
So you guys trying
But-
about a villain's hideout, say yes?
One
Possibly.
ended up
Is it you?
stumbling upon. To be honest, I don't want to remember it.
I see, yes. It's a damn fine shame to not go to such strange places, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, considering that place had some shadowy figure and one guy who was literally had the place wired up with some weird wires that cut things, and
Oof.
I do apologize. It probably was
It's a
someplace I
pretty
shouldn't.
interesting, exciting event. Yeah, I know the feeling very well. He leans really close to you and whispers in your ear. Pretty much only Mr. Torque will hear this. Torque will a sense.
Let's hope this works.
I'm not entirely sure if you would actually be paying attention to this guy's words. But he does lean real close to Rogue as he does whisper.
Still doesn't work.
Still, oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me roll your sense.
It's everything.
Oh my god, roll 20.
Damn.
Why are you such a donkey?
I
Oh,
honestly think it's
okay.
your guys'
What the fuck?
connection to the server,
Why
to
is
be
that
honest.
roll it twice? I
have
don't
no
understand.
idea.
That the macro is for one roll. Anyways,
Accidental double clicking of the macro.
maybe, but like, I don't know. I would need, you know what? If I roll this, no, because if I roll a different macro, it only does it once. That's so weird. Anyways, yeah. So like, he leans real close. You can actually hear him with that sense of 22, because that's the one we'll be using. As he whispers in Rogue's ear. So, you infiltrating this place too, huh? Interesting. Good to know. What have you gotten so far?
I've only gotten to be honest, all I found out is there's a teacher here that will probably skin me alive if I hurt any of you, which I don't intend to hurt any of you. So
Interesting. Yeah, that dollhouse
I
is a
am-
real piece of work, huh?
yes, it's caused my autopilot to go crazy.
I
Thankfully,
see.
I can shut that off. So
Real
but-
quick to have a replacement for that Washi character, yeah. You know, I thought he was at first gonna be my replacement, but he didn't seem to replace me for some reason. Then he went and died. Real bad work to attempt to replace someone then die when you're infiltrating somewhere. You know, just it makes my job easier at least. But I'm glad you're here. Just so you know, I don't need to be replaced. You know, I got this place locked down tight. It's fine.
Who are you again?
Wait, I thought you just said you're part of the villains organization. You were
I
you
work
at
for
the warehouse, right?
Yes, I was working with them to get information.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know who to support here in this town. So
Ah, I see. No problem
going
about it,
on?
my friend. No problem. But yeah, just take it easy. All right, good to see you. And he just starts to walk away. Good to see you, man.
This
Good guy.
Your name was Namina, right?
Yes, it was indeed.
Good to know.
He goes and sits by this group, blending seamlessly into them as they start talking about dying. As you can see, Gas Mask Boy just kind of sighing randomly as he attempts to say something, and then Risa translates for him because no one can understand him. But these two are quiet for the most part. Okay.
Wait, am I like not like looking too deep into this, or does he totally sound like his character concept is now totally being the Jar Jar Binks who was going to be a Sith but now isn't anymore?
Well, for what you just told Rogue, out of character knowledge, he literally just asked Rogue if he was also infiltrating this place. So, yeah. Which now only Mr. Torque truly understands.
Also, it is worth noting the whole thing was like, oh yeah, no, I thought Washi was the one who was going to replace me as the infiltrator, but I guess he didn't.
He went and died. I see that you've now replaced him. I got this place under control. Don't you worry.
I'm so confused. I thought Washi was a hero.
It's what you all believe, yeah.
I'm so fucking confused.
I know, right? All right.
No, how was that conversation?
that I did not expect that, to be honest. Keep an eye on that guy, please. That'll be interesting to find out I'm not the only one infiltrating the school.
Goodness gracious.
So
You're lucky there's not like silent listening systems devices all over the school.
I know, right?
yeah, apparently. I
I'm
mean,
a villain. Hello, villains. Hi, villains.
Yep.
So you are infiltrating this place?
for the time being, yes. I mean, to get information, see which school is better, and
See if you can find the apostle.
and the apostle, the one that goes by the apostle. So apparently, with the guy who I'm working for now, I guess, owes him a favor, and this guy does not like having to owe favors for long. So something about being in debt. But this Washi guy, that's not Washi. Sad what happened to him. This apostle, he's a ghost, because even I can't find any information on him.
The only information you can find online is that he's an internet sensation, which is honestly less information than you know about idols, who are also internet sensations. It's very confusing to you and slightly annoying.
Exactly. I mean, the person who I'm working for, he kind of hasn't been able to contact him in a month. So he's wondering if he's dead or not. So if I can find anything out while I'm here, then I'll find out. But I'm not gonna be here for the rest of the school year. I mean, if I can learn how to control this chaotic lightning, which is has really, I've come to realize, I need to gain control over it, because I can't be shocking people left and right, taking down elevators, buildings, whatnot. So, okay, this might be too many times, but
Shockingly. Yeah. Shockingly, you've not electrocuted Mr. Torque next.
Okay.
You're starting to notice your electricity more, mostly because you're constantly talking about it nowadays rather than like in Ruby or such. You're not already focused on it, but in this world you're talking about it a lot, and so as you're talking more about it, you start to kind of pay more attention to it, as it starts to kind of like do its like wiggle, and you're like down ball, and it starts to go down. At least so far, anyways. Although you are noticing, actually, I'm gonna roll a d20 real quick.
Okay.
Because I do want to know if you're noticing it. You are noticing ever so slightly. The more you're suppressing it, basically, you're basically compounding it, more or less. That's what you're feeling, at least at the moment, from what you can tell. That's how you would put it into words, is you're compounding the electricity inside of you. The more that you notice it, and it doesn't, flare. It just kind of folds on top of itself, so to speak. So you're noticing that it is there, and that's kind of what you don't really know why it's doing that or how it's doing that or even what that means per se. You just know it's happening, basically. Which is weird.
Yeah, the more I look at this chaotic lightning of mine, the more I realize it's not normal lightning. And I'm noticing that it's acting differently, or it's been acting like that all along, just haven't noticed it till now. If I can leave here with a better understanding of it, then it'll be worth it. But I really hate to shock anyone unexpectedly.
You remember the
Especially my
last
friends.
time you did that.
Yes, that wasn't a good time. We still won the battle, but yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just
So,
chat a little bit more, I
you're-
assume, before heading back?
You're
yeah.
here to figure out your madness, is it?
Yes, and it's ironic that you're calling it madness, because at times I've seen it as it's gonna sound odd, but a personality that wants to go crazy. So that's something I don't want to happen.
But you said you were here to sort of leave the villains.
More or less. I might keep my eye on them, but in honesty, my ideals, I don't want to be labeled as a hero or a villain, because both sides in this world, I've noticed heroes going to being a hero to be noticed, recognized for fame, being in the spotlight, something that I despise because I'm not doing it for the good of people. And the villains, well, they
Just want to hurt people.
just want to hurt people and be as chaotic as can be, and that doesn't sit right with me either. Because I hate hurting people, and I honestly want to, be good to people, to be honest. I mean, yes, it can be, a gray line I'm walking, but that's part of the reason why I've gone between this school and the other school. So that's where things lie with me.
You kind of see Tark twitch. You kind of see Tark twitch a bit. Hero and villain. It's very interesting when you look at them at the same time. There's a lot of common ideals, yet there's twice as many differences. Is a hero just all about spotlight, fame? Is a villain all about killing and committing horror? I don't think that's the case, especially with someone like me who just wants to have fun with what I have. Till then, I was thrown into a place I had no idea. I'm no villain. But what does it mean to be a hero or a villain? That's something I've never understood. Something I still don't understand. What's better? What's worse? Why are they so different? Because to me, they're all the same in a certain point of view.
You can see him
I
looking
knew
a
I
lot
was-
more serious than you've seen him before.
Because even a villain can want fame and glory, and a hero would want horror and pain. Just like Dollhouse, who threatened you. Of course, his motives were pure, but not very hero-like. And just like poor old Persona, wanting to prove that heroes are only out for themselves when really, he's just as bad. If you think about it, all the times he says, I don't have time for this, makes you really think that he respects only himself and no one else. So, in a way, would that mean Persona is a hero and Dollhouse is a villain?
That depends on your definition of what's good and evil.
Good and evil. Two perspective. One cannot survive without the other. Imagine
Exactly.
that. A world without heroes and villains. A world where it's just full of people like me. Or you. I think
With
the
that-
world would be better off without heroes or villains.
I'm glad I'm not the only one saying that. I knew there was something about you.
I like the
I'm glad I made the
connection
right.
here.
There.
I'm glad I made the best judgment. I'm glad to call you my friend.
I'm glad to have you around. But be careful, because even though you are not in the place that you so desire, there are still others, like that man. I could so easily rat him out. But would that be a villainous act or a heroic act?
That's the question exactly.
But then there's the perspective of good and evil. Perhaps it is good to rat him out, to stop him from doing whatever he's planning, but then it could be evil if he just wants to help someone he cares about. There's a lot of gray areas that
Exactly.
both the heroes and the villains do not see.
Precisely. That's the reason why I'm not gonna rat him out, because we don't know who he's working for or what his plans are. Yes, one side, he could be planning something very terrible and very horrible. But on the other hand, he might be just keeping watch on someone, make sure they don't mess up or do something. You never know.
Exactly. And then goes back to the topic. Heroes and villains. What makes them so different? Personally, I see more similarities than differences. Both sides want one thing. The world to believe in what they believe. But that's a discussion for another time, my friend. And you see as Torque twitches. Now, let's go have some fun.
Just you see the instant shift in him, which is like it puts your second head on like almost alert for a second, as his entire posture, body movements, and personality seem to switch ever so slightly.
Oh, I see, Torg, what you were talking about before.
You are an interesting person. I must admit, I'm glad that I've made you a friend and stayed by your side. So yeah,
Likewise.
let's go have some fun. I mean, you've been here longer than me, so I'll let you know. I'll give you the lead.
Alright, as you guys start to kind of mingle with the other people, interact with them, whatnot, he seems to be quite happy to have you guys with him. Although, again, he's always eating, which is just, it doesn't put your second mind on alert or anything, it's just odd. He's specifically always eating a cup of noodles. You've never seen him without a cup of noodles. Literally, even Mr. Torg, his entire time here, has never seen the man without a cup of noodles, and it's real weird to me.
I mean, is it the same cup of noodles or a different cup of noodles?
It seems to be a different cup of noodles because he's eating them. You can hear the slurp, you can see the slurp as he's eating them. But yeah, every time that he has a thing of food in his hands, it's almost always a couple noodles, and he usually has like some kind of food in his like jacket pocket or something.
That ain't that much cup. Ain't that much instant noodles? Must not be healthy for that guy.
But as you guys are mingling and whatnot, you two, Sophia and Akia, head back home. You guys head back home for probably a couple of hours, I do believe. Start to rest up a little bit. Your bodies are quite sore at the moment, but especially with
They're heading to Sophia's house, which has the kids.
Yeah.
Yep. We were only gonna be there for like an hour and a half, and then I would start heading over to the hospital, depending on how long it took to get to the hospital.
Yep.
Because I said 2 hours after school ended.
Yeah, but you would still meet the kids that the blah blah blah
Yeah,
stuff.
I did. I would.
You eventually get to the house. You actually do see the kids, and you do meet them. Turns out she wasn't lying to you, oddly enough, which is really putting your brain for a loop. It's like it's starting to spin, it's starting to tumble. Your head's starting to feel kind of weird for just a little bit. It's kind of confusing you slightly, but it kind of passes for the moment. As you've been doing lately, you just kind of push down that kind of feeling because you got other shit to attend, the Yoku Hospital and stuff like that. So you kind of like push it down, just be how you are. But you interact with her for a while before heading over to the Yoku Hospital. Sophia, are you going to get some sleep at this point? Or while she's there, are you going to maybe try to, I guess, talk with your monster for a second? Kind of breach the gate, so to speak, or do you want to leave that for when you see Dollhouse again?
I mean, I might as well go see if Dollhouse is available to talk about that.
Okay. You do have his phone number, so you are welcome to call him up.
Oh, well then I will do so.
Okie dokie. So she leads to Yoku Hospital. Sophia, you grab your phone, start calling up Dollhouse. Probably, what? I suppose 8 o'clock p.m.-ish would be the time as is now, roughly. Dollhouse, is your character available at that time?
Yeah, he'd just be working. He'd just be filling out papers, doing different things for school-related stuff, and/or looking into something. But he'd be available.
Okay. So he does in fact answer.
Moshi.
Oh, Sensei, I was wondering if you're available to talk.
I'm listening.
So the training is, I guess, what is it called? The tournament's also coming up.
Individual quirk training.
Yeah. And we have to find a teacher who can help us. And well, I was wondering if no one had asked you yet?
No, I've only had one other student approach me, but the times didn't work out.
Oh. I was wondering if maybe you would be interested in helping me.
When?
Anytime. Your schedule works.
That can work out. Sin, give me a day.
You could go right now if you want to. Tomorrow is a free day for everyone, so you could do it tomorrow as well if you wish to.
You can come by tonight if you're not too exhausted. You can meet me by the school tomorrow at any time. Just give me a time and I will be there if I'm available.
Oh,
And I will call if something comes up.
would I be too ambitious if I said we can get started tonight?
No, I'm free tonight, so.
Then please excuse me.
Fair enough.
Cool. So I assume you start heading to the school at that point then?
It has to be later tonight, right? So
Yep,
it'll
anytime
be
later tonight.
hours.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay. Yep. So you make a time with him, which we'll say is insert time here. I'm very terrible with in-game times, okay? But yeah, so you insert time here.
Time here, but we don't edit it at all.
I know, right? Mr. World Editor, who is looking at this video, totally no one, but, Mr. Invisible Editor, insert time on screen right now.
2:30 p.m.
There you go, Mr. Editor, thank you very much. Okay, anyways.
It out at like 3?
3:30 a.m.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking midnight, there we go. Okay.
24:24.
God. So, you start hanging out there at some point, and we'll get to that one probably next week. And to wrap up for tonight, at the hospital here, which is all the way down here, because I totally have a map for this. Here we go. You're not here. Boop. Tanya is probably somewhere in there, and you're probably somewhere in there. There you go. So you meet up with Tanya. Is there anything specific you like to go over with about to her, or is it just normal night essentially? Any specific questions or thoughts? Akia?
Oh
I'm
my
here.
gosh,
Yeah.
girl.
have any specific?
Smuggling!
Move the cat.
No. I was just gonna train on healing. Using my healing to get better at it and faster. Hopefully.
Okay. So it's just normal night, honestly, for you guys. For Akia here at least. She starts prepping her stuff with Tanya. I assume Tanya, you just bring her over some of the basics of the stuff just to give her an idea.
Pretty much. Though, I have a mind to inject Johan into this situation, but I have no idea how that would basically go down. I'll leave that up to Sin on whether or not we want to inject
I mean,
him
you're
into
welcome
this.
to. We got 9 minutes.
All right. Yeah. Throw him on in there, and like when Akia arrives, Johan will be leaning up against the wall, talking with Tanya. Johan appears to have a pair of gloves recently removed, still in hand though, not yet thrown away. Akia, how do you choose to approach?
I just kind of walk up. If they're having a conversation, I stand off to the side and wait until they're done conversating. Just standing there looking at both of them.
Okay. And let's see, I'm pretty sure you've never seen Johan, right?
I do not believe she
No,
has.
I've never seen Johan. I don't know who he is.
Okay.
I am
There'll be a momentary
trying-
pause
there
in their
you are.
conversation as Johan spots you and gives it's a bit of an odd smile. You're not sure how to feel about it.
Oh god.
There you
This
go.
is the student, huh?
He looks like that for
Yeah,
him, but
that's the
curious.
one. He looks you over. Huh. I was looking over some of that information about you. Interesting girl. More quirks than I've seen most people have.
I kind of just glare at Tanya. I
She
look
just
back at him.
shrugs. Oh, don't blame her. I didn't get the information from her, of course. I happen to provide a hand around here. Speaking of, he brings a handkerchief to his mouth and seems to cough heavily a few times before clearing his throat. You're here to work with Tanya on healing some of the less fortunate ones around here, yes?
That is correct.
I see. I won't hold you up too much then. I finished my rounds for the day. Tanya, I'll be expecting you to follow through on your end of our little deal. He covers his mouth again to cough a few more times.
What kind of cough? Does it sound like an asthmatic cough or like more of a regular cold kind of cough?
There's definitely something wrong with his lungs. They're wet.
Tuberculosis?
Oof.
Something about it definitely sounds off. It's wet. It's kind of gross. And each time he coughs something up, you know that he specifically holds his hand in a way to hide the handkerchief from your sight.
Sounds like you have something in your lungs.
You could say that. Still, I'm just... He chuckles. Holding on to something for a friend.
I could try to heal you if you'd like.
Unfortunately, nothing short of what Tanya has in that jug of hers is going to be able to heal this. But don't worry, I have my ways of passing the buck, as it were.
My healing is different than her jug.
I assume as much. Still, if you heal too much, I won't be able to use it as well. Tanya rolls her eyes. This asshole's quirk here lets him borrow certain elements from people. Unlike us, he doesn't heal people. He takes people's wounds, then finds a new target for them. Someone who can survive it, or someone who's already going lights out.
If that's the case, pass it on to somebody who has a healing quirk, and then they'll be able to heal themselves, if that's how it works.
Oh, it's a bit too far along for that, I'm afraid. I have a deal with another person. I guess you could call him not an incubator. There's no really good term for it. I paid him a rather considerable sum so that if he ever found himself in a state of complete brain death, I could transplant certain illnesses into him.
Ew.
The man won't live to see the morning, so I might as well give him the... give him the last remnants. Excuse me.
Well, if you do ever need anything, I'll be able to heal you on a cellular level. La la la, I can't talk today.
Cellular
level.
Tanya shrugs. Yeah, go ahead. Hang out with him all you like. Be careful if you, spend too much time around this guy. She gives Johan an odd look.
You'd have to come to the hospital to get the healing. I don't make house calls. I'm not a doctor. Yet.
Johan nods. Well, if I find that I have need for your specific brand of abilities, I might call on you. Whether you choose to come or not is... Are those tails real?
She gives him a suspicious look. And is like, maybe? Why do you want to know?
There's a moment pause before Tanya's eyes immediately narrow. as Johan pulls out a card. Here, if you have any interest, we are always looking for new material. Fox girls are a niche that some people are willing to support. It's a card for the Idol Agency.
She accepts it like you traditionally accept business cards in Japan.
Yeah.
Right, so gonna burn this when I get home.
Don't-
Cool.
I don't have talents, but if I should ever think I could pull off anything, I'll let you know.
I've been looking into some recent things. You know, individuals that aren't your stereotypical singing and dancing stage idols. As long as you look good and have an interesting enough personality, you might be able to fit in some of our new programs. But that's for you to decide if you should ever choose to come visit the agency. In the meantime, I need to drop off this illness with someone less likely to be held back by it.
Alright. Tanya, are we starting our rounds then?
Yeah. Let's get going. So, Johan does pause before saying, "Oh, but one more thing. What's your name?"
Akia.
Akia. In addition to my job as a manager, I also work as a mediator of sorts. If you ever find yourself in a truly large-scale conflict, something that could not be mediated by police force and the like, he gives you a odd, knowing look. Don't be afraid to approach. I uphold my neutrality in as many cases as possible, regardless of who I'm working with.
She just kind of stares at him kind of suspiciously, looks back to see what the reaction that Tanya has to this.
Mm-hmm.
Her arms are crossed as she looks, you'd probably say, kind of annoyed.
Peeved.
She looks back at him, bows slightly and says, "I'll keep that in mind."
All right. Have a wonderful night, Tanya, Akia. As he walks off.
I'm gonna forget that ever happened.
Would that you could. The guy is good at manipulating situations. Weird, though. According to the reports, he's been calling in more debts than usual this last week. If he's also looking to gather new talents, well... Oh shit, right. Forgot to mention, he's a jumper.
Ah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention it, but I don't want it to blindside you. If you get into a deal with him, keep that in mind. And when I say deal,
through the
yeah.
room.
Yeah. His deals have power. Those kids, that boy. Remember how I said he had an ability like something I call Tashente?
Mm-hmm.
He just uses her thumb to gesture to where Johan walked away.
Ah.
Yeah.
That was Johan? The big baddie at the fucking JoJo group?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Did you not notice that Johan was Johan?
No.
I'm not that bad with names.
Holy shit, Taki mushroom.
No, next time when he's bad with names, it'll be actually Johan, not Johan.
Johan
Johansson.
Hostar.
It'll be Johansson.
Johan.
Look at Johans.
No man.
Alrighty.
As you
As
walk, Tanya will then ask as you walk, "So, you got a sixth somewhere in there?"
ah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Sure. Let's get healing.
Depends what you call it.
Give her 4 months and we'll see. All right, as they
mean,
start doing their stuff, that's where we're going to
I'm
end
gonna
it.
count on her fingers.
All right,
See how
one,
many she
two,
actually has, because at
three.
this point she's forgotten.
You have so many. Alright, as you guys are now doing that, I'll move out to here. Next week, we're going to be looking at Sophia as she talks to Dollhouse and a few other things as well. So, hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode. This was a lot of fun to do. And feel free to check out tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST. We're having a little bit of a varying schedule because of IRL reasons. So if you guys are interested in seeing our content, feel free to check out our schedule and check out our general YouTube schedule as well on our Discord. And of course, check out the social media that's inside of the chat or inside the description below. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. And feel free to press the follow button because we do random streams throughout the night as well. And you guys won't want to miss any of that.
Gamers!
Yeah, Sleepless Gamer boys! Alright, auf Wiedersehen!
Later, guys.
Johnny!
Oh,
Bye.